What's up, guys? Welcome to your 158th Android tutorial for the new Boston. What we're going to do in this tutorial is basically set up our handling XML stuff class, because again we set some sort of content handler to basically do the work or kind of handle the method that we want it to do. And that's what that class is pretty much going to do. Don't get confused by handler or anything like that. All it's saying is, we have this class that we want to handle the work or do the work. So we're going to set that up, and again, as we scroll over here, you can just see it needs some sort of a content handler. So this class has to be some sort of a handler, but as for now, it's nothing, so it's giving us an error here. So let's jump over to our handling XML stuff class, and all we're going to do is say extends default handler. And then we just have to import that, Control-Shift-O, and let's just check out some of the classes or some of the methods that we can use for this class, I should say. Source, override, implement methods, and here's all of our methods for a handler or a default handler, such as start document, end document, and most importantly, we're just looking for certain elements like the city or the temperature. So we're going to work with this start element, and we're just going to hit OK, and it adds our method for us. And just to briefly talk about the important aspects of what's being passed in, we have a string called local name, and that's basically going to be, if we switch over here, that's going to be these call tags here, like forecast information or city or postal code or temp F for Fahrenheit. So that's what our local name is going to be. And then what our attributes, this fourth parameter, what that's going to be is this call or this call to action, this data, and pretty much all of them are the same, data. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Those are the two things that we're going to use with this tutorial. So let's just get started. We're going to delete this super method there, and all we're going to say is if local name, which again is the name of our second parameter that's being passed in. So we're going to say local name, and we're going to say if this is, again we have to compare strings, so we're going to say dot equals to, and then we can say something like city. So we're going to use city. If that's equal to city, all we're going to do is set up a string called city, and we're going to set this equal to our attributes that's being passed in. We're just going to copy that, and the specific attribute that we're looking for is again called data. So if this is a different reference, but for the most part it's all the same. Again, we have our local name here and our attribute here, so we have to define our attribute to equal data for the most part, and then it's going to return this value of Lincoln, Nebraska, or whatever the person searched for. So we're going to have say our attributes dot get value of the index, which was data. So again, this string city is just going to be equal to Lincoln, Nebraska, or whatever city they typed in. And then all we're going to do is pass in some information to our data collected class. So we need to set up a data collected type variable. So we're just going to set that up above here. We're just going to say again our class name, which was XML data collected, and we're just going to call this info. We're going to set this equal to a new XML data collected. And I'll explain this a little bit further in the next tutorial, what's actually happening, but just as for now, we have this variable called info, and then all we're going to do is we're going to set up this string, or we're going to pass in the information of this string to that class. So we're going to say info dot set city. We're going to call this city, again that's that method we set up in that class, and we're just going to refer to our string that we have here called city. Then we just have to say else if, and again I'm just going to copy this format here and paste it, and we're going to say instead of city we're going to say temp underscore F, and we're going to change this method, the info, to dot set temp, called temp maybe, and we're just going to set this variable equal to temp for a string. And again, all we're doing here is, oh, and this has to be integer, so all we have to do now is convert this string reference into integer. So we're actually going to call this string t, and then we're going to convert it into an int. So we're going to say int temp is equal to integer dot parse int, and that's just going to parse information into an integer, again convert it into an int, and we have to refer to our string name, which we called t. So now we're setting the temperature variable as well. Again, all we did is we referred to the local name. If it's temp f, we're gonna see the data of that and get the value of that data key reference, and then just convert it into an int so it works with our method that we created called setTemp. And just to show you guys again here, this is the name that we're looking for, and this is again called data, so we don't have to change that second reference of data. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one where we're going to explain a little bit more of what we've done, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.